dear students, myself Gangadhar Solanke and I welcome you all to the MCGM's virtual classroom. My dear students, today in Standard 10's Geography, we'll be learning the topic Natural Vegetation and Wildlife. As in this standard and in the textbook of Geography, we are studying about the India and about Brazil. So today also we are going to talk about the natural vegetation and wildlife of Brazil and India. But here the thing which we should know, and that is the meaning of vegetation, which means plants in general. Vegetation is what? Plants in general, or all the plants that are formed in a particular place. So when we say natural vegetation of Brazil, तो वहाँ के जो particular plants है उस particular area के उन्हें कहा जाता है, या फिर natural vegetation of India. So the word vegetation is not only related with the plants but in a particular place, or plants that are found in a particular place. And the word wildlife, which you have already know about. This figure 5.1 is given in our textbook about the flora and fauna of Brazil, and on the basis of this figure, questions are also given. Observe the images shown in figure 5.1 and discuss on the basis of the following points, and the points are: can you tell the names of the plants or trees shown in the image? So these first three images are of plants and trees. So if you know the names, then you can write there. Then where have you seen these plants before? अगर आपको इनके नाम पता है तो इसके पहले आपने उन्हें कहाँ देखा है. And the third question, name the fauna shown in the image. And here also one more thing to know, that is the meaning of the fauna, that is all the animals of an area or a period of time. So in vegetation we talk about plants, and when we use word fauna it is related with the animals. So name the fauna shown in the image, this one, then 4, 5 and 6. And the same question again, where have you seen them before? So these are the questions based on figure 5.1. Now you might have recognized the species shown in figure 5.1 and discussed about them, because the similarity between them and many Indian species, but these species are found in Brazil. And the next one then, figure 5.2, which is of physiography, that is natural vegetation and wildlife. So in figure 5.2, rainfall, flora and fauna of Brazil has been shown in the cross profile along with physiography, and the change occurring in the above elements while going from north to south is clearly seen here. Here you can see various types of apes, reptiles, and then the change in the fauna. Here grassland animals. Actually this is what is the type of forest: tropical forest, equatorial forest, deciduous forest, temperate forest, and how it is changing, that also you can see in this cross profile. Next thing, Brazil vegetation. It means that we are going to talk about the plants. In Brazil, rainfall varies due to physiography, and in most parts of the equatorial region it rains throughout the year. पूरे साल वहाँ पर बारिश होती है. As one moves away from the equator, the number of rainy days as well as amount of rainfall reduces, and this affects the life cycle of the vegetation too. And this is the natural thing. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा नेचुरल वेजिटेशन जो होता है वो बारिश पे या फिर जो वाटर रिसोर्सेस है, वाटर सोर्सेस है, उस पर डिपेंड होता है. तो जैसे ही बारिश जिस एरिया में बढ़ती जाएगी वहाँ का नेचुरल वेजिटेशन अलग होगा, एंड जिस तरफ हम जाएंगे जहाँ पर बारिश कम कम होती जा रही है वहाँ के जो प्लांट्स है और जो जहाँ पर बारिश पूरे साल है वहाँ के प्लांट्स, दोनों में डिफरेंस होगा ही होगा. सो दिस इज़ हाउ रेनफॉल affects the life cycle of the vegetation too. Evergreen forests are found in the area where it rains throughout the year, and in regions which receive rainfall only during certain seasons, the density of the vegetation reduces. So instead of forest, various types of grasses, short shrubs, thorny vegetation, etc. are found there. So again the same thing I am repeating, it is all depend on the rain. Next to the evergreen forest, Brazil has the largest number of vegetation species in the world. सबसे ज़्यादा species जो है vegetation के, it means of that plants, वो ब्राज़ील में है. This includes evergreen vegetation, semi-evergreen, and then the arid. One finds trees like pau-Brazil, rubber, mahogany, rosewood, and variety of orchids. So these are the names of the plants which you can easily find there in the Brazil. Then next to this, because of the evergreen rainforests in the Brazil, there is a large amount of oxygen that is released in the environment, and not only in the Brazil but for the whole world, and this helps to reduce carbon dioxide levels. Therefore, these rainforests are rightly called the lungs of the world, and that is why the forest in the Brazil is very 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 important. ब्राज़ील में जो फॉरेस्ट है वो एवरग्रीन फॉरेस्ट है, और एवरग्रीन फॉरेस्ट होने की वजह से क्या होता है कि पूरे साल भर में वो पूरी दुनिया को ऑक्सीजन देने का काम करते हैं, और उसकी वजह से एनवायरनमेंट में कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड की जो लेवल है वो कम हो जाती है, एंड दैट इज़ वाई these rainforests are rightly called the lungs of the world. So forests are the heart or lung of the planet, we can say, lung, and Amazon rainforest, the lungs of the world. Then now India vegetation, again the figure 5.3 which you can see on the screen, and the questions based on it. Which forests are found in western snow capped regions? Now by observing the given figure and by reading the questions, you have to answer these questions at least. On which coast do you mainly find the coastal vegetation? Which type of forest occupy maximum area in India, and why? Now by using this index you can answer all the questions. Now this one is looking everywhere, this which is deciduous forest. And the next question, where do you find thorny and shrub vegetation found, and why? Here now you can see India vegetation. In regions which receive more than 2000 millimeter of rainfall on an average, along with abundant sunlight, there evergreen forests are found. तो एक बात तो पक्का हमें ध्यान में रखनी कि एवरग्रीन फॉरेस्ट वहीं पर होते हैं जहाँ पर साल भर बहुत ज़्यादा बारिश होती है. The leaves of the trees in this forest are broad and green. The trees have hardwood, heavy and durable. For example, mahogany, rosewood, rubber, etc. There are various types of creepers found here, and highest biodiversity is found in these forests. As these forests are evergreen forests, तो वहाँ पर plants भी बहुत ज़्यादा होते हैं, and because of the plants, biodiversity जो है वो हमें वहाँ पर देखने को मिलती है. In regions receiving rainfall between 1000 millimeter to 2000 millimeter. पहला जो हमने देखा evergreen में more than 2000 millimeter. Now here 1000 millimeter to 2000 millimeter in India, then the deciduous forests are found. First evergreen, then we are talking about the deciduous forest. In dry seasons, trees shed their leaves so that water is not lost due to evaporation. Now you people learnt about the concept of evaporation in the geography of lower standards and also in science. तो dry season में पत्ते जो है यहाँ के इवेपोरेशन की वजह से उनका वाटर लॉस्ट ना हो, वो निकल ना जाए, इसीलिए ट्रीज सेड करके रखते हैं. इन दिस फॉर एग्जांपल टीक, बाम्बू, बनियान, पीपल एटसेट्राज आर द ट्रीज फाउंड इन दीज फॉरेस्ट. नाउ नेक्स्ट वन, regions that receive less than 500 millimeter of rainfall and experience dry summers for a long period in India, there thorny and shrub type vegetation is found. क्योंकि वहाँ पर बारिश बहुत कम होती है और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा ड्राई समर होता है. सो वहाँ पर एवरग्रीन जो है हमेशा हरे रहने वाले या फिर बहुत ऊंचे होने वाले पेड़ हमें देखने को नहीं मिलते हैं. The leaves are small in size. For examples you can see caoutchouc, then acacia, khezri, and varieties of cactus like aloe vera and agave. Then the next thing, in swampy areas, estuaries and lagoons near coastal areas having saline soils and moist climate, coastal type of vegetation is found. They are called mangroves or sundarbans in India. And the wood of this tree is oily, light and durable. Here you can see swampy areas vegetation. Next thing, in Indian Himalayas, 3 type of forests are found according to the altitude. Because we are talking here about the Himalaya, altitude change होता जाता है, नीचे से ऊपर, ऊपर से ऊपर, ऊपर से ऊपर, जैसे हाइट बढ़ती जाएगी according to that. Now in areas located at the highest altitude, now here we are talking about highest altitude, seasonally flowering trees are found. Where flowering trees are found? At highest altitude. And in regions with medium altitude. What about medium altitude? In medium altitude, coniferous trees like pine, deodar, fir and foothills, at foothills mixed forests are found. This includes both coniferous and deciduous types of forest. Here the proportion of sal trees is higher. So this was all about the Brazil vegetation and India vegetation, near about the similar vegetation Brazil maybe or India maybe. Now in the next session we'll talk about the Brazil wildlife and India wildlife. Here more images you can see of the plants. This one, then this tree, khedri, swampy forests. One more thing, in the exercise which is given, that on the basis of the information given in the chapter, figures and maps complete the table below. There is one table given जिसमें टाइप ऑफ फॉरेस्ट एक साइड में दिया है, उसके बाद कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है, उसके बाद रीजन्स इन इंडिया और रीजन्स इन ब्राज़ील दिया हुआ है. दैट यू कैन सॉल्व ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ आवर टुडेज लेसन. My dear students, today in Standard 10th Geography, we will be learning the topic Natural Vegetation and Wildlife. Now, in the first part of this topic, we have learnt about Brazil vegetation and India vegetation. Now, today we have to learn about Brazil wildlife and India wildlife. Now, to understand this in detail, everywhere in the textbook of our geography, maps are given, and here also in this topic, figure 5.4 which is on the screen, 5.4 is given. So, there you can see the wildlife of Brazil, and what you have to do with this, on the basis of figure 5.4, answer the following questions, and the questions are: name the species shown on the map, condor, anaconda, golden lion tamarin, macaw, etc. In which regions are these animals found, and why are their habitats found in these forests? Then classify the forest regions with reference to their extent. Now, these three questions you have to solve by using the information given in the figure 5.4. Now, when we talk about the wildlife of Brazil, then one thing which is very important to understand is that a greater diversity in wildlife is found in Brazil than any other country in the world. If we compare it with the other countries in the world, किसी भी कंट्री के साथ अगर हम कंपेयर करें तो पूरी दुनिया से ग्रेटर डाइवर्सिटी इन वाइल्ड लाइफ जो है वो ब्राज़ील में हमें देखने को मिलती है. इन द स्वैम्पी एरियाज ऑफ द Pantanal, huge anacondas are found, as on the screen you can see. In the swampy areas of Pantanal, huge anacondas are found. Now, here only names and the places we are going to talk about. Then in Brazil, guinea pigs, next to that crocodiles, alligators, monkeys, leopards, pumas, etc. are found. Now, if we people talk about the fish, then among fish varieties, mainly swordfish, as you can see on the screen, are found in the sea, while pink dolphins, this one is something new to see and to hear also, pink dolphins and piranhas are found in the rivers. Now, condors, which are huge in size, on the screen you can see the size, which are huge in size and fly high in the sky. Then various types of parrots, macaws and flamingos are the major birds found here. Now what you have to do, you just have to keep in mind the names of the animals and of the birds and of the fishes. Not only animals, not only the birds, but millions of insects. Just think about the number. Millions of insect varieties are also found here, and as a result of these varieties, the wildlife of Brazil is very rich and diverse. But there is one problem which is not only in the Brazil, but nowadays it is everywhere in the world because of the development of human being, we can say, but it is not that much helpful for the other animals. So degradation of environment is happening due to illegal smuggling. Degradation of environment is happening due to illegal smuggling of wild animals, slash and burn agriculture, deforestation, pollution, etc. So Brazil is facing these problems today. As I told you before, not only in the Brazil but everywhere in the world nowadays these problems are there. So many endemic species are on the verge of getting extinct because of these issues. But Brazil government also trying to reduce deforestation and forest degradation in Brazil. And now we are going to talk about India wildlife. Many things already we know because here in the country we are living and experiencing the wildlife of India. First of all, like figure 5.4 of Brazil, figure 5.5 is given but it is blank, only outline map of India is there. You can see what you have to do with this: show the following animals in the outline map of India in the figure 5.5 with the help of signs and symbols according to their habitats. So what you have to do, you have to put Bengal tiger on its place जहाँ पर वो पाए जाते हैं, मिलते हैं, then lion, great Indian bustard, gangetic dolphin, olive ridley turtles, swamped deer, one-horned rhinos, then next to that crocodiles, नीलगिरी goat and घड़ियाल्स और alligators. ये सारी जो animals दिए है यहाँ पर उनको उनकी जगह पे रखना है with the help of signs and symbols. For that you can take the help of the map which is given in the figure 5.4. Now if we talk about the wildlife of India, then India is also a mega diverse country in terms of wildlife. There are many species of wildlife in India. Elephants are found in hot and humid forests. Here you can see identified elephant corridors of India on the screen in the map. This one, these places, this and this. Then one-horned rhinoceroses are found in swampy and marshy lands of Assam. Again here you can see. Next to that, wild ass and camels are found in arid lands like in Rajasthan. Then the snow leopards and yaks are found in the snow-capped regions of Himalayas. Then Indian bisons, deer, antelopes and monkeys are found in the peninsular region. So India is the only country in the world where both tigers and lions are found. दुनिया में ऐसा कोई भी दूसरा देश नहीं है कि जहाँ पर टाइगर्स और लायंस दोनों एक साथ पाए जाते हैं, या तो टाइगर है या फिर लायन है. बट इंडिया इज द ओनली कंट्री in the world where both tigers and lions are found. River, estuaries and coastal areas are homes of many turtles, crocodiles and gharial.
The forests and wetlands are the shelters of variety of birds like peacocks, Indian bustard, kingfishers, pigeons, ducks, parakeets, cranes and pigeons. So, all these species make it a land of unique habitat of wildlife. But again, the same thing, the problem with these animals. Many species of wildlife are on the verge of extinction from India because of poaching, pollution and rapidly occurring deforestation. For example, cheetahs nowadays in danger. The government of India has set up number of national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, bird sanctuaries and biosphere reserves for the protection of wildlife and forests of India. So, not only in the any particular country, but all over the world, each and every country is taking care of the animals and the different species of the animals. But at the same time, world is facing the problem with these animals because of the pollution, because of the smuggling of the different parts of these animals. But as a citizen of India, or we can say as a human being, it is our duty to take care of the beauty of nature. Please subscribe the channel and press bell icon to get notifications.
So my dear ones, this is all for today. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, take care.